Welcome to the full moon alchemy session. And I don't know if anyone is feeling the full moon energy today. I know that I am. And today I feel like we can focus on how to release some of the blockages that is blocking us from manifesting the timeline now, our desired timeline. So I feel like the moon, when we're getting in cycle with the moon energy, is so easy for us to feel the flow of our energy. So today, to start, I would love for everyone to feel that you're aligned with your body. So we can start, maybe do some body scanning and some grounding breath work so you're more in tune with how your body is feeling and the messages that your body is giving you. And of course, you're welcome. Definitely, you're super encouraged to turn on your camera so you can share your energy with the group so we can together build this collective energy field so we can together really shed some of these unnecessary blockages collectively. And at any time, if you want to ask a question or share any comments, feel free to put in the chat. Okay, so when you're ready, you can find a comfortable sitting and you can close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Feel the natural rise and falls of your body as you breathe. We are still under the full moon's influence, and the moon energy is so strong here. It's helping us to release what's no longer serving us and create space for some new energy to enter. So, really take a deep breath through your nose, and you can feel the air coming into your lungs. Hold your breath for a second and slowly let it go. Imagine that you are drawing in the moon's powerful energy, and moon's energy is feeling in every part of your being. And when you breathe out, do a simple body scan from your head to your toes, and sense where in your body you might have stored some stress, some tension. Take another deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, and let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're exhaling, visualize that you're releasing all the tension, all the blockage, and all the limiting belief that's holding you back. Take another deep inhale. Imagine you're breathing in the moon's light and clarity, and just feel that all the energy is coming in your body and you're awakening your inner power. And long exhale. Letting go of all your old patterns, your fears, your doubts, your worries, and allowing them to dissolve into the air. Let's put your awareness at the top of your crown, your head. Is there any tension there? Relax that part of your muscle with consciousness. Move down to your eyebrows, Are they relaxed? Your nose, your lips, your chin, your cheekbones. You know, sometimes we store so many of our tension around our cheekbones. Now, relax that part of your brain, of your face. Let's move down to your neck, to your shoulder. Yeah, the shoulder part. That's another part of our body that stores so much of our stress. Relax where you're breathing out tension, breathing out worries. With each breath, just continue to receive the full moon's gifts of this renewal and transformation energy. And when you breathe out, release anything that you're ready to let go. Let's move down our consciousness to our chest, our heart, our belly. Notice if there's any stress, any tension that still is storing in our body, and use your mindness to release them. Now let's move down to our hip, our legs, our knees, and our feet. Sometimes we don't give enough attention to our feet, but our feet is working so hard for us, taking us to places every day. Let's give it some love and care and release some of the tension that we're storing in our feet. And when you breathe in new energy, send the energy all the way down to your feet. And when you breathe out, let the tension go from the soles of your feet. This is your time to create space for new possibilities. When you're breathing in and releasing your breath, think about this question. During the next moon cycle, what part of your current reality are you ready to release to invite the radical transformation you've been seeking? During the next moon cycle, what part of your current reality are you ready to release to invite the radical transformation you've been seeking? Let the answer come to you. Ask for your body's wisdom and listen carefully the messages that your body is trying to tell you. Let's take 3 more grounding breaths. Breathing in deeply. Hold your breath and breathe out slowly. One more breath. One last breath. Breathing in deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you're ready, feel your awareness come back to the present moment. Feel the air around you. Notice if there's any differences in your body. Are you feeling different? And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And welcome back. So feel free to share how you're feeling, what you're ready to transform. You can turn on your mic, your video to share with the group. What messages that you got from our breathing work, what you're trying to transform, what you want to radically release. I'm here to hear all your answers.
I
Robin.
am letting go of anxiety and the not enoughness. Like I get all this momentum and then I kind of freak out holding it. So those things are coming very clearly. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes our body stores more wisdom than we know. So this kind of breathing work really takes us back to the flow, natural flows of our body. Anyone else want to share? Leah?
Yeah, it's just nice to be able to do that breathing exercises and be aware of my body. And I find my posture goes up and I straighten up and everything is much more balanced. Yeah, just that awareness. And as soon as my posture straightens up, I can kind of think more clearly because I'm an artist and it's not always easy to think clearly or do everything in the way that I want to do it, and things get kind of overwhelming. But with that breathing exercise, it slows everything down, so it's good.
Yeah. We're gonna get into later how do we slow down and really respect our natural ebbs and flows of energy. So before we move on to the next chapter, anyone else want to share? I see Deja said letting go of my toxic traits and insecurity. I love that. Okay. So let me introduce a little bit what is moon alchemy. In modern times, we really tune into this concept of productivity because we are often kind of pushed to hustle, grind, and keep moving, especially if we live in big cities. And we're kind of conditioned to believe that success only comes from constant doing more, like working hard, staying busy, and pushing ourselves beyond our limits. And moon alchemy is actually the practice of tapping into the moon's natural cycle so you can align your energy with the universe. Because if we look at the moon, we can realize there is a natural rhythm of the energy and it's guiding us through cycles of like new moon setting intentions, full moon releasing blockages, and a lot of times when we find blockages when we're manifesting the life that we desire is because sometimes we're not honoring the ebbs and flows of our energy. So today, really, after our breathing work, ask yourselves, are you honoring the ebbs and flows of your energy? Because here is some signs that you might not be honoring your ebbs and flows of energy. Because the two ticks, that's my inner critics. Sometimes my inner voice might sound like, why are you so tired? You haven't done enough today to rest. You need to work more, work harder. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to self care. I don't have time to take a bath. Like, I hear a lot of that in my own critics. And that's when I know, okay, I'm not actually respecting my needs of my body that I want to rest. Because when you want to do things, you actually move to move. You are moved to work. and you actually wake up and you think about the things that you want to do, you cannot wait. You jump out from your bed and you can't wait to do it. So look at all these signs and tell me if there is any inner voice that you might heard before from this chart. A lot of times, for us, especially women, we brought up in a way that our brain kind of creates this punishment system. So we tell us this kind of things, thinking that we can push us harder so we can do more. But actually, this is blocking us from doing more and being true productive, which is really go with the flow and enter the flow state and honoring the ebbs and flows of our energy. So when we rest really well. We don't feel guilty when we rest. And when we work really hard because we are so happy to be here and to work. Today we're gonna release all of these voices. So let me show you some little tricks that helped me to release that inner critics. Today we're gonna do a very simple full moon release ritual. Actually, before we can release something from our mind, we want to kind of physically be aware of how it feels to release. So I encourage you to just take, let's say, a pen or your notebook or whatever, hold it in your hand, and then try to release them. Just like that. Just do a few times. Try to let it go from your hand. Before we do this ritual, this release where we put all these symbols, all the symbolic meanings, and all these beliefs, limiting beliefs in this object. But right now, just like practice releasing. Just see how it feels to hold on to something and then let it go. Because there is this really delicious moment, right? When you make a decision to release and then really letting it go. There is that tiny second where your brain actually feels so relieved when you let go of something. So before we put all this meaning into this random object, go gather one object that, not my crystals, but like something that you can hold in your hand and then let it go. So I am gonna burn some Palo Santos and invite my ancestors, the spirits, the wishes before me to come help all of us collectively to release all these toxic patterns, the anxiety, the stress, whatever that we don't want. We want to let it go. So when we're ready, hold this object in your hand. You can close your eyes and take a moment and think of this one thing you're ready to release. It can be a belief, a habit, a fear, or any blocks that's no longer serving you. Hold that in your mind. Now, this object that's currently in your hand, that you can physically hold, this object will represent that block that you're ready to release. Feel the weight of it. When you breathe in deeply, imagine all the energy of that block being transferred to this object. Visualize that everything that's been weighing you down, flowing into this item. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Another breath in. And on the exhale, release this object. And when you release, feel the weight lifting from your mind and body. And feel that the block is leaving you completely. Notice the lightness in your heart. And probably the lightness in your hand. And there is this sense of freedom. Now your hand is free. And remember how this release feels. Take a moment to appreciate this new space you've created. Take another deep breath in. Hold your breath. Breathe out slowly. Knowing that the full moon has helped you clear this energy block and allowing you to move forward with clarity and ease. And now you've created some space for growth and transformation. When you're ready, feel free to come back and open your eyes. How do you feel now? You have letting go some of that limiting belief or some blockages. And what did you release? Feel free to share. I would love to know. Fear of disappointment. Yeah. That's beautiful. And that one is heavy. We all have some moments where we're so afraid of disappointing ourselves, the people around us. And I'm happy that some of that get to release. Fear of moving forward. Wow. Yeah. It can get scary, right? Because when we're in something that we're familiar with, even though it's not the best, it's not our most desired outcome, it's still something that we know. And the future, the unknown, sometimes scares us the most because we don't know what's ahead of us. So it's so important for us to release these things that no longer serves us and create space and welcome the universe to surprise us with whatever they have in stock for us. Releasing blockages and everything and everyone that does not serve my purpose or highest self. That's amazing. I love that. That's beautiful. Since I had all of the limiting belief, I released the power that limiting belief can have over me. Yes. That's beautiful. Releasing the past, letting space for new things and better things. Yeah, we're about to move on to the better things now that we have created space and released some of these things that we don't want. Sometimes we store so many unuseful things in our body, in our space, just cluttering up. And I think our minds sometimes need the detox the most. And we're not aware of it a lot of times because the society keeps on telling us to go, 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 go. And a lot of times when we rest, we're not actually resting because we feel like, oh, why am I still resting? I should do this, I should do that, I should do laundry, I should go meet this friend and that friend. And we don't honor the resting. Okay, let me read one more. Releasing toxic traits and fear of not being enough. That's amazing. Okay, so next we're gonna talk a little bit of the differences between the path of effort and the path of alignment. because we talked a lot just now about how in the modern day society we are in the constant hurry, constant hustle, and that's the path of effort. And the path of alignment sometimes is not easy to get to because we actually need to be so in tune with our bodies, with our energy flows, and in tune with the universe, and really be open to receive the signs and messages that's coming from beyond us. And a lot of times the moon cycle remind us there are times for action and there are times for rest and release. And this is actually supported by fundamental concept in quantum physics. Because in quantum physics, there is this quantum superposition. This theory, it says that all possible outcome exists until one is observed. So it means that our future is in a state of quantum superposition until we observe a specific outcome. So there is a famous experiment. It's called the double slit experiment. So basically, the scientists shoot photon on this backdrop with two slits on it. And when there's no one observing it, this photon were behaving like waves, and they're passing through two slits at the same time, and they leave this wave pattern, like irregular pattern, mindless pattern at the end of the backdrop. And when we put a camera on, and when the scientists like actually are observing this laser, this photon actually kind of react like a particle, and it become like an object and choose either between the left slit and the right slit, and then it kind of left either the left dot or the right dot at the backdrop. So it means that all particles can exist in multiple states at once. And when we observe them, they actually have to make a decision. Either they choose the left slit or the right slit. And this might be a little bit hard to understand, but I feel like in a common term and example is that when you flip a coin, it can be both tails and head, and it actually exists in both states until it lands on your hand. And only then you know the results for sure. But when the coins is in the air, it can be tail and head in the same time. And because we're all made of atoms, so we actually, the quantum physics theory apply to us too. So your future is actually in a state of superposition, and your thoughts and beliefs can act like this observer, this camera that's observing you. And when you observe yourself, you actually have to choose which reality becomes your experience. So today, sessions like this, it can actually act like this camera because we are observing each other or ourselves. What kind of conscious choice do we make, right? What do we try to release? We actually make a decision today, right now. And we decided what we want to release, what we want to create space for, and what we want to jump to. What is this desired timeline that you want to create, that you want to happen into your life? So now that we know our minds and thoughts actually can choose this reality for us, we now need to learn how to be aligned with the universe, so the universe actually naturally supports the manifestation of our desire. And how when we're aligned with this quantum field, with the moon, with the universe, we can actually flow with the universe and follow the path of alignment and the path of least resistance. So next, we can do a very simple exercise that can really help to locked into this timeline that we are constantly wondering, because now when we're not be aware of it, we just go on with our lives. But when we decided which timeline that we want to lock ourselves into, the future that we do want to live, that's when we're kind of act like the second photon in the experiment, that we're choosing either the left slit or the right slit. So right now, I want to introduce you the timeline scripting method that can actually help you to know what moves you to move. Because when we want to quantum leap into the timeline that we desire, we can realize that actually time is not linear. Big changes can happen overnight. You can actually choose to live a different life. It can all happen in an instant. You're actually one decision away from the life that you desire. But what is the life that you desire? And how can you be in tune with that energy of the version of you that's in that desired timeline? Because when your energy is aligned with that version of yourself, the quantum leap naturally happened. So you can grab your pen, notebook, or if you feel more comfortable journaling on your phone, that's okay too. We'll have 3 minutes writing time for each prompt questions. So the most important part for this timeline scripting method is you need to write a letter from your future self to your present self. So we're gonna jump into the future 1 year from now. So you're gonna imagine it's 1 year from now. It's October 20th, 2025, and you've manifested whatever you want. What you've been dreaming about, what you've been walking towards. We're 1 year from now. And you're gonna write in the present tense. And you're gonna dive into the details when I ask you each prompt questions, and as detailed as possible. Is there any question before we move on to our questions? Okay, then let's do question number 1. So it's 1 year from now and you're living your dream life. What have you released in the past year? And how has your life radically changed since then? You can write about your daily routine change, the change of your relationships, your career, your family, the energy flow. Don't let the pen stop. Keep on writing. I will keep the time. You have 1 minute left. Okay, time's up for this question. Question number 2. It's 1 year from now, and you're living your desired timeline. What does your perfect day look and feel like in this desired timeline? You can describe the physical environment you're in. Are you in your home? What does your home look like? You can describe the emotions that you feel, the action that you take, the people that you connect with, that you hang out with, or your daily routine, anything that comes up to your mind. You have 1 minute left. All right, time's up for question 2. Question number 3. What has been the most unexpected and beautiful blessings in your life that manifested for you the past year? Sometimes the universe surprised us. So what is it? What is this one thing that you didn't expect to happen, but is the most beautiful, unexpected manifestation that happened to you? You have 1 more minute. All right, time's up. Does anyone want to share in the chat or open your mic what came up during the timeless scripting method? How does your future look like? Because next up, we're gonna jump into that future. So I would love to know what came up in your journaling.
I'm so grateful to go through this kind of question and answer with you more than once, because the first time I was still thinking kind of small, and that would be acceptable. But as you asked this time, I'm thinking about, the space I would really like to have, and just actually letting the universe surprise me. So my children are in a different state, and I'm trying to downsize my home into 2 smaller places. And so I'm imagining them as like having windows and plenty of space and being easy to maintain. And, I'm a little cluttered right now, so clean and fresh. So yeah, thank you for these prompts. What a beautiful exercise. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's beautiful. I love that. Leia, you were trying to share.
Yeah. Hi. I was gonna say, the perfect day one was great because I was like, what would the perfect day look like? And I have like everything's organized. I have a morning routine. I do this for a short amount of time, and then I do this for a short amount of time, and then I'll do this. And it's all like kind of a continuation of the last day, which, I mean, that's kind of how it's supposed to go. But for me, uh, as long as I'm organized or whatnot, I'm fine. Um, and I can kind of go from there. But yeah, that was a surprising thing for me.
Getting organized, who would know?
Yeah, I know.
That's
I always
beautiful.
keep saying that.
That's beautiful. Okay, now that we know what kind of future that we want, how do we get to that? So, the next is the quantum leap meditation and the visualization. So, obviously, today I want to give you a preview of how the 28-day workshop is going to look like. So, I'm not really diving into each exercise or each concept really deep. So, it's more like a preview of how it's going to feel like. But when we kind of make our conscious, like put our awareness to the things that we want, we already tune our consciousness to the future that we want to jump into. But sometimes I feel like we hear the inner voices, or we hear the voices from the world, that how the future that we want is unrealistic, we will have challenges, we will have problems, and those voices are not encouraging us or not letting us believe that things can unfold easily. We can manifest with ease. Because when we think about achieving the goals, we think about, oh, working hard, we're gonna do this and that, we need to meet all these conditions so this manifestation can happen. But it actually doesn't go like that. Because in quantum physics, time is actually not linear. So you can actually jump into another timeline just by a simple decision like that. And like I just explained about the quantum superposition, your future actually exists in this quantum field of limited possibilities. And the moment that you align your thoughts and emotions and actions with this specific version, you can collapse all the other noises, the other outcomes, and lock into the one reality that you want to jump into. So, what we're gonna do next, I know it's a lot of exercise that I'm trying to pack in this 1.5 hour pre-session, but I invite you again to find a comfortable position, and I'm gonna guide you through a visualization and a meditation so we can fast forward time. And we're gonna jump into a timeline that you just wrote about, that you just imagined in your head. And we're gonna physically jump there with our mind and make a decision and set an anchor there. So later on, when we're back to our reality, we know where to go to, and we will anchor to that feeling or that energy flow. Okay, so find a comfortable place, and when you're ready, you can close your eyes. You can sit, you can lay down, you can be wherever you are, just relaxed. And take some long, deep cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, deep into the belly. Exhale through the nose, long and slow. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your body open and expansive. We're going to go fast forward into the future. So going forward, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 25 years. You get to choose. Think of an upcoming milestone in your life. Some point in the future that feels significant to you. Perhaps it's a birthday. Do you have a milestone age that you might be approaching? Perhaps it's a time in your life that you've accomplished a certain goal. Make a time in the future that means something to you. That's where we're going. Are you ready? Here we go. Take a deep breath into your belly and begin to set your body beneath you. See that you're floating. Your consciousness is floating up above you, and you can see yourself sitting there breathing. Let's zoom up higher and higher through the roof. You see your house, your neighborhood, your city. You're floating up above the clouds, up higher and higher into the space. And as you're up there looking down at Earth, You can see the moon spinning around the earth, and you're higher, even higher, when you see the earth spinning around the sun. You begin to notice that the earth's spinning faster and faster, and the earth is spinning around the sun so fast until it starts to slow down again. And you begin to drift back down towards the earth, down through the clouds, back down to the earth, to the ground. And when your feet touches down, you find yourself standing in the presence of this radiant, alive, energized version of yourself. Right in front of you is this absolute best version of you at that time. Observe this version of you. What is this person wearing? Who is this person? Where is this person at? See them, feel their vitality, their wisdom, their self-mastery. You're being present in their love, their gratitude, their curiosity. You're so close to them that you can feel the calm, confidence, and the joy that they exclude. Feel the energy. What is it like? What energy are you radiating? Now, look deeply into that person's eyes, that best version of yourself. Really feel the energy exchange between you two. Take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for the work that you have done to get us to this point. Thank you for the sacrifices you've made. Appreciate the energy you have invested, the lesson you've learned. When you look even deeper into their eyes, how does it feel to be in the presence of this radiant, best version of yourself? How do you show up in your physical vessel? How do you show up in your work? How do you show up in your life? How do you show up in all of your relationships? What do you notice? Now imagine you only have 1 minute to spend with them. What would they want to tell you in that 1 minute? You can ask them, what do I need to know to go on this journey towards you? Or you can ask, what do I need to say no to get here? What do I need to say yes to? What would they want to whisper into your ears that's important for you to consider? Take some time to listen. Now, if this most radiant version of you can only tell you one thing in order for you to become that best version of you, what would that one thing be? One insight? One piece of encouragement? Take some time to listen. Allow that wisdom to soak in. And thank them once again for everything they've done to assist you in becoming this radiant, alive version of yourself. Now, give them a huge hug. Really feel the energy exchange between you and this version of yourself. And when you're ready, say goodbye just for now. Now, it's time. See yourself being pulled up into the sky, your feet leaving the earth as you float back up into the clouds, all the way up above the clouds into the space. As you see the moon around the earth, and you see earth float away, and you see the earth beginning to spin in reverse around the sun, faster and faster and faster. And as it slows back down, you see the moon spinning around the earth. You begin to flow back down to earth, down through the clouds, in your city, your neighborhood, your rooftop. You see yourself and slowly drop back down into your body. And just stay here in this space for just a few more moments. And just absorb the magnificent energy of that version of you. Feel the radiant, alive energy from that version of you still inside of your body. Know that you can create it. Know that is you too. Know that it's going to be challenging at times, but together you can do something amazing. Think about this one last question. What is one small action or habit you can start today that will bring you closer with this future version of yourself? Now feel the air around you as you gently enter back into the world. Know that you can access this version of you anytime. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Welcome back. How do you feel? Is there anything changed inside of your body, your energy, your body posture? Feel free to share anything that's happened during the visualizations. What you see? What did your future self tell you? Or what is this one small actions or habit that you can start today?
Love the experience and really opened some stuff up for me. And then there's some small actions. And there's a meditation group I'm working with. And one of the things someone said this morning that I loved and was really meaningful was plan and then pivot. And part of it for me is sharing my art. I've been very shy about that, and they were accepting of that. So I'm going to share, follow through, and share some of the pieces on Telegram, and then just reiterate to that person that I loved what they said about plan and pivot. Mm-hmm. And then a new friend wants to put a spiral in her place, or kind of, she's like me, and a lot of us use that language like I might, and I kind of, and I'm going to ask her if she wants me to follow up, because I'll have an offer. Our people are spread all over the world. Mm-hmm. But in a week, one of our teachers that stays in Italy will be in Boulder, so I'll have a chance to ask her about this. And I know it takes a lot of planning. Anyway, we need to get rocks and things like this. So just following through on that. So thanks for listening, and thanks for asking these questions and walking us through these lovely meditations.
Of course, I'm always happy to guide you through another meditation. This is what I love to do the most. And Leah said, that was great. I love the visuals. My future self told me not to give up by telling me to give up because I don't listen to. So reverse psychology really works on me. Wow. So your future self really knows you. I love that, because sometimes all the wisdom that we need is someone who already walked the path and really knows what we need to change or what we need to say yes to and say no to, so we can get to the desired timeline. So I feel like that's sometimes we forget about how we have all the answers inside of us. We have all the wisdoms, and we actually knows what to do, but sometimes some inner critics, some inner voices or outside voices really distract us from knowing the answer, from listening to the answer. So I feel like what can happen in these workshops and with the 28 days workshop is for us to really get in tune with our body and really feel the truth of our body. What's the truth? What is your truth? So I feel like today we've tried to cram, I've tried to cram all this informations and exercises into that 1.5 hour, but this is just like a taste of how this 28 days gonna look like with me. If you do decide to go on this 28-day journey, so we can kind of move with the moon and be in tune with the moon and really flow with the new moon, full moon, the waxing moon, like all these moon phases. And I'm gonna explain these 28 days in very briefly because I'm minding the time, don't want to get past. So week one is actually based on the new moon. So we're gonna start with some new moon intentions, and that's when the scripting about the futures is really powerful, because that's the perfect time for you to make the wish to the universe and actually kind of like place an order with the universe. And I'm gonna guide you through obviously a really powerful intention setting ritual so you can script out your desired reality and set the foundation of the transformation. And then week two, it's for us to activate our future self. And sometimes we believe that we need to um, improve ourselves in all these ways so we can live this new life. But like I just explained, actually it can happen in an instant. And reality anchoring method actually really works because I feel like for me, I've been in through places where I'm so not aligned with my energy and I work so hard. And I used to be like a freelance filmmaker where the income was so unstable and I work like 7 days a week, and sometimes I need to be on set for like 12 hours. And back then I thought, oh, I have to do this, I have to be a filmmaker. And I'm like pushing myself to a burnout, a state of burnout where I'm so not listening to my own body's advice. And what really changed me is a moon ritual. And under that moon ritual, I feel like I received this message that's so clear that there is true power in listening to our bodies and aligning with our true energy, our true life force that's in our body. And do I really want to live in this life where I have to push ourselves and convince myself or tell me all these mean things so I can push myself forward? And I knew back then the answer was no. And I felt like when I was in tune with the moon, everything started to shift because I no longer really feel guilty when I try to take time to rest. And I know that when I rest, I will have more energy to work later on. Um, that's a little bit of how I actually activate that future self. And it's not through constant working, it's actually through a moment of reflection, resting, ritual that I feel that I'm so aligned with the universe and things, magical things start to happen. Like all these amazing opportunities start to come. And I decided that I'm going to like kind of jump into this spiritual world. And then I just start to do like my life coaching classes and I just start to like take clients and everything just start to appear when I made that decision. And I feel like that's when I realized that time is really not linear. And I feel like during this 28 days, it will be so amazing to witness that people who also believe this, who is open-minded enough to believe that when we're in tune with the universe and ourselves, things can unfold, like miracles can happen. Just if you let it go and believe and trust that your life can happen in this way that you desire. Okay, that's a little um, too much information, but let's move on to week three. So we're gonna do a full moon release on week three, and we actually have a somewhat of a taste of how like a release ritual is gonna be like. But if we enter this workshop, it's gonna be way longer, and we're going to call like your future self, goddesses, gods, like your ancestors, or whoever that you believe is here for your highest good to help you release all these blockages and really help you to rebirth to this new version of yourself. And then the last week is quantum leap integration and ascension. And of course, we did a little bit of that today, but that's just a really small fraction of what we can do together, like this meditation and visualization to jump forward in time. And most of the time, I feel like it's this belief. Can we share this limiting belief and really going forward into this version in this one instant? Do we actually believe that our life can change with our one decision? Because when you do, your life actually unfold like that. And I'm going to explain really briefly about what these two tiers kind of look like for us. So the first tier is the Cosmic Alchemist, and of course you have the 4 live Sunday workshops, and you're going to have a weekly check-ins, and we're gonna have all this exercise that you can do every week. And I have a 28-day Quantum Leap workbook, and every day you will receive like guidelines, you will receive like exercises that you can follow every day to the end of the 28 days, so you can manifest your dreams, and you can get an exclusive membership to this community that we are all here to support each other and observe each other to make this quantum leap. And of course, in this thread that we're in, this community thread, that of course, if you have any questions, you can get support from me or anyone else from the group, that know that you're not alone in this fight. And that sometimes is so important to me, to know that I am supported, I'm loved, I'm seen. And of course, you can have you replay all these sessions and revisit all this material whenever you want, because you have lifetime access to all this video that I'm gonna make. And if you choose the Quantum Mastermind, you're gonna have 2 sessions, one-on-one sessions with me, and we can work together and come up with some customized plan according to your ambition, your problems, your limitation, your limiting belief, and we can like really focus on those problems and challenges that you have and come up with a plan of how you can transform during in this 28 days. And today, because for this live session, and I'm really thank you for your time to enjoy to come on a Sunday for 1.5 hours to spend with me. So I'm offering a 50% off on this workshop, and it's gonna last for 24 hours. So I'm gonna drop the link later in the chat, and if you check out with the promo code abundance, you can get 50% off today. And of course, if your budget is a concern, that you can contact me, because I also provide payment plans. So for the Cosmic Alchemist, for the price now, then you can have like $50.5 a month for 4 months. And if it's Quantum Mastermind, it's $111 for 4 months. And that's for 24 hours lasting limited time offer if you're interested and ready to take this leap with me. And the class is going to start in November 3rd. It's also a Sunday. And thank you so much for joining me. Yes, Robin.
I have a question. So I think I heard you. It starts on November 3rd, and is it 20? It's over 28 days, so it would end around December 1st. Is that right?
Yes. So the forest workshop is going to be November 24th. That's the last workshop. But because that's the last time that we're gonna meet together. But then, of course, we have the workbook, so you will still have some exercises to do. And then
I will chat with you offline because I have that other commitment, but I'm interested in this anyway.
yes,
And so I would do it, and then I would just have to watch the recorded. If you're recording them, if you're willing to share it, I
yeah,
could do it later on Sundays. So
of course,
yeah.
yes, you will have all the recordings, and you can access them for a lifetime. You can review it anytime you want. Yes, definitely.
And do you feel like you would be getting those out on the same Sunday, maybe by evening, or what's your?
Yes. So right after the workshop, I will be uploading those videos.
I have met with you in your coaching session for one of you did I think free session for a half hour, and it was so valuable. So I just want to thank you for all of this, and I'm super interested in it, and I think even recorded would be really useful for me. And I really appreciate all the discounts, because it isn't easy. My workflow is shifting. I might have a job. Anyway, like all of us, the money isn't easy, but I think you're more than worth it. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
and I'll plan on signing up later today within that 24-hour period to get the discount.
Yeah, thank you. That's lovely, because of course I understand we all have budget concerns, and I feel like part of this 28 days, I feel like from what I heard from my clients is they want to release the money blockages. And I feel like I have seen myself really release my money blockages real fast by going through some exercises and some like really soul searching. What is really blocking me, right? From to getting the abundance, the life, and the money flow to me easy kind of life. And I felt like sometimes it's this aha moments that we will experience when we go real deep, when we go to maybe like the point where we were hurt by money, when we felt so lack that we felt like we have to save up, like this scarcity mindset. So I felt like maybe if you are comfortable to invest in yourself in a way that I wanted to give you guys options that it's not, it's not going to create financial stress for you to start. And then when we're there, when we're in this feeling of abundance, when you're feeling that someone wants to give you this abundance and you can receive it with a price that it feels like it's maybe a dinner, a fancy dinner. And then with that, you know that everything else can flow easy because everyone else is willing to give you and support you, and the world want to see you win. Your ancestors want to see you be successful and living the life that they could not even dreamed of. Oh, I've already passed time, 3 minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or drop in the chats. If not, there is some gifts that I want to give you. So it's a free moon and stars calendar that you can download, and I have like the full moon, the new moon, and some days that's important, I think. And on those days, you can see like there will be like guidance, there will be ritual suggestions, and there will be like some prompt questions for you to journal on. So you can be more aware of the lunar calendar and the flow of the universe. And also, of course, if you have any questions, always feel free to book a discovery session that's free with me. And here's my email. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if you have any comments, put in the Google form or drop in the chats. Any questions, I'm always here. And thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your input today, and it's such a wonderful time. And I hope that I can see you at the 28-day workshop.